I couldn't be the only mother-loving person that was heated by this guy, man. Amin Gold, yeah. I got somebody, man. I got somebody. The Birdman. He goes off on him. Because you know I had to subscribe to his channel because I told y'all I'm going to attack him every chance I get now. I'm on his ass. He don't believe he racist? That's probably why you're a racist. But we going to get into it. Let's go. It's me reacting to the Birdman coming at the grifter.
Lord of the Fleas has blessed us with yet another.
And look at the guy's name. His name is Zach. Like, I've never met a cool Zach a day in my life.
Other shit take on Twitter, this time alleging that black people benefit from systematic racism. We're going to debunk this nonsensical claim. And this time, I'll try to be as brief as I can for old double-digit IQ here, because my last video was too long for him. So I'll have to re-explain the start-stop buttons for you, Zach, because you were too pussy to respond to my previous video, where I cooked your monkey ass for over an hour. You know, the one where your excuse for ducking me was, an hour is too long for me to grift. That's like 12 large Dr. Peppers, and even I can't rot my teeth out with that much. Isn't it strange how you respond to the video where I barely talk about you at all, where you lied and claimed I called you racist the whole video?
That's sad. Well, mic drops, I know. So basically, this guy spent his entire video calling me racist.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
When yo, this is funny as shit. But as the old saying goes, if the shoe fits, you must wear it.
Sure about that?
Cook him. Oh, I love this AI thing.
So that was a fucking lie. But the video where I spent the length of a short film ramming my fist up your ass is the one you ran away from.
Yeah, he ran, because he's a racist.
Red means, shut the fuck up, I'm still talking. Green means, it's your turn to speak. You seem to have difficulty understanding when someone hasn't finished making a point, so I have to get elementary on your ass. You are low IQ after all.
After all, because he can't be high IQ. Clearly, he thinks 18-year-old kids are grown.
Anyway, a few days ago, Zachariah here posted this tweet in response to Joe Bartolozzi refuting the claim that black people are more likely to commit crimes than white people.
And that is false than a motherfucker, because there ain't too many black billionaires running around this motherfucker that's got corporations. Any motherfucking body in corporate business is a fucking criminal. It comes with the territory, bro. It like comes with the territory. You have to be a fucking criminal to be up in there. You know what I mean? So, and now we're gonna go on low crimes. All right, well, I know more white criminals than I do black criminals, and I'm from the hood. But I know more black criminals that got caught than I do white criminals. That's the problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this dude is a true idiot. Like, he's a true chud. We call him chuds around here. He's a chud.
Let's have a listen.
Do not commit more crimes than white people on a personality basis. If you're going to say statistically they do, that is only because of impoverished areas in the lives that they've been given because of the implications that have been put on them through, what is it called? Systemic racism. They've been given a shit hand and therefore live in that shit hand and are more likely to commit crimes if they're impoverished, living in areas where they...
Oh, and what he's saying is absolutely facts, but I want to reiterate something, that there are trailer park trash out there, and anybody in an impoverished neighborhood or upbringing is going to do the same shit. I always say this all the time on my channel, man. Demographics plays the most role in all upbringing. I don't give a flying fuck if you Your moms could be a fucking saint. If you live in the hood, you fucking before you turn 14. Sorry. Just throwing the facts out there. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, we gonna call a spade, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I grew up in the neighborhood that I live in now, the likelihood of me going to jail or going to college changed dramatically. You understand what I'm saying? Because living in a well-off community, you get more resources to help you get to those goals. When you live in an impoverished neighborhood, you have no resources to get you to no goal. So when people say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, I want you guys to understand something, bruh. You cut the straps off. You get what I'm saying? Pull yourself up by the bootstraps with no straps because you cut the straps. How I'm going to do that? Know what I'm saying? And that ain't a white or black thing. That's a demographic thing, man. You in the ghetto, nigga, 9 out of 10 you doing some ghetto shit. Case in point, you live in the hood. Everybody in the hood know how to make some Kool-Aid. You know what I'm talking about? Go to a white neighborhood. They have no clue of what they're doing with Kool-Aid. They gonna pull out Tang on your ass. That ain't Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? We know you gotta bend that bag over. You heard? That's a hood shit. You know what I'm saying? That's hood shit. That's hood shit, though. You get what I'm saying? Same shit is when any hood store you go to, nigga, anybody that live in the ghetto, in the hood, will tell you, when he bring you there on a vlog, he'll tell you, yo, this is the hood store we grew up with. Yeah, this is the first store I stole my candy out of. This is the only store you fucking been going to. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's sort of the same thing when you're dealing with, on a different topic, I'm a sideline, a different topic. It's the same thing when you're dealing with cheaters. All right? Your wife is only going to cheat with what's available. If your best friend is the only thing fucking available, guess who she's cheating with? Yo, bro, you guys are fucking so slow in the world today that it doesn't make any sense. You guys got to get back common sense. I think y'all gave y'all common sense to AI, and you have to get it back. Real shit.
They have to survive. If you were to take a group of people and put them in an impoverished area, they're likely to commit more crimes because they have not been helped in the way that they need to be. But if you meet a...
Oh, and we talking about crimes of impoverished people. Crimes of impoverished people are not the crimes of non-impoverished people. Let's just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Broke people crimes are different. Broke people crimes are stealing, drugging, drug selling. This is broke crimes, you know what I'm saying? These are broke crimes. They usually don't include murder. Unless it has to do with getting some money. Murder and a robbery, yeah, that happens. Motherfucker reached for the gun, he had to get him. You know how we do. Yeah. Back down. You know what I'm saying? But let's do the math on violent, unusual, just demonic fucking crimes. Those are white people. We in the impoverished neighborhood is not kidnapping kids and cutting them up. We ain't doing that. Niggas is trying to get some money because they just cut off EBT, bruh. Last thing we want to do is steal another mouth. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, our crimes are different. Y'all are thieves too, but y'all don't steal the way we do. We going in to steal we seen a nigga drop his wallet. Oh, we got that. Oh, we trying to see if we can swipe over here. Oh shit, they left the drawer open on the counter and she walked away. I'm digging in that. Yeah. But you motherfuckers do billion-dollar money laundering shit. Listen, I watch American Greed. All right? Rich people crimes are different. Embezzlement is different. You understand what I'm saying? You got all that fucking money. Why is you embezzling anything? You ain't in an impoverished neighborhood. You ain't in the ghetto. Why the fuck are you stealing from the company? Greedy motherfucker. But if you gave the impoverished person the chance to do what that person's doing, job they're doing, I promise you he won't embezzle a motherfucking thing because he knows where he came from. That's the difference. You heard?
Black guy on the street, and you say to his face, he's more likely to commit a crime than you're fucking racist. Yes, whatever statistical fact you're going to throw is clouded by the idiocy of yourself to not recognize why that fact is in existence. Not because black people are genetically more likely to commit a crime. That's stupid.
So, Joe is obviously correct, but his argument can do with a bit of cleaning up, and that's what I'm here for. What Joe is referring to is the correlation of poverty and crime. This is a very well understood phenomenon that those placed under economic strain, limited opportunities, and weakened social structures often resort to property and violent crime. A large body of criminology and sociology research has found a consistent relationship between poverty.
I want y'all to understand when they say poverty, violent crimes are armed robberies. You know what I'm saying? Somebody trying to book you for your shit, but they booking you with the, you know what I'm saying? Or a knife or something. That's dudes is trying to eat. Unless you're in a gang. And you in a gang, you a street nigga is different. You a street nigga is different than a impoverished person. A person in poverty is different than a street nigga. A nigga in the streets is different. Them niggas is gonna shoot, kill, steal. They gonna do all that because they street niggas. They in gangs and shit like that. They doing that. But we got a bunch of that over here because you got to think about the situation of when you going to the store to get food and your mom only gave you 2 food stamp dollar bills. Yeah, I'm going all the way back. 2 food stamp dollar bills and the shit you trying to get costs $5. But Jamal's standing there with all the gold and shit on, and Jamal go, man, put the food stamps away, man. Yo, get a little nigga what he wanted, man. Yo, put that on my tab, man. Yo, man, your mom is still hurting over there. Your pop's still locked up. Yo, man, here, take this to your mom. What the fuck do you think I want to do now? As that kid, what do you think I fucking want to do now? I want to know where Jamal got that fucking money. Because my family's fucked up because my dad is in jail. And I want to know where the fuck Jamal got that bread. And my mom is slipping further into her addiction. I got 2 wet food stamps. I'm going over here trying to get some eggs and some motherfucking milk. And I can't even get the shit because it costs more. That little boy cried all the way to fuck home. He was happy he got the bread. He was happy Jamal hit him all. But the whole way he walking home, he's crying, bro. We so broke we can't afford bread, man. So that's easy to recruit a little motherfucker. That's easy, bro. You give a little nigga $100, boy, that ain't got 2 food stamps, bro, you just gave this man a Nintendo 64. You just gave this nigga a PlayStation. That's the way he looking at that $100. You know how many eggs and shit we can get now? We might be able to get the cable back on. You see what I'm saying?
Inequality and crime across many different countries and ethnic groups. Studies from the United States, Indonesia, Latin America, Europe, and cross-national datasets all show that areas with higher poverty, unemployment, and economic deprivation tend to experience higher rates of certain crimes, particularly.
And they should, because what are you supposed to do if you can't eat? Yo, the one thing about life is this, bro. If you get hungry enough, you gonna do some shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care nothing about that God shit. I don't give a fuck about your Bible shit. I don't give a fuck about your holier than thou shit. Nigga, if you get hungry enough, you'll eat a snake. If I throw you in the fucking forest, you can't find your fucking way out, the first 2 days, you're gonna be like, I'm not eating that fucking snake. By the end of that week, that nigga on a spigot getting cooked. Because you gotta eat, bruh. You gotta eat, bruh. There's a movie called Alive. It came out a long time ago, where these guys are on a sports team and they plane crashed on a fucking mountaintop and motherfuckers was dying. These niggas, if you would have picked them up 3 days before they plane crashed, the motherfuckers would beat you up if you told them, yo, I know you'll eat a person. Be like, nigga, I'll never eat nobody. I ain't gonna eat no human. That's crazy. Ask the motherfuckers after that plane crash. Gotta survive, bro. You ain't had no fucking choice. So when you put with your back against the wall, and that's what most people in the ghetto feel like, that their back is against the wall, they have nothing to lose. Like, when you think of the concept like this, bro, I have no money, no nothing. If I go in this store and steal food, I'll have food at the... Look, now we're going to do it like this. Pros and cons, right? We're going to do it in a language y'all can speak. Pros and cons. All right, if somebody really was going to sit there and do that. They don't. But let's just say somebody... Pros and cons of me going into the store to rob this food. If I don't get caught, I come back with food. If I get caught, I go to jail where they feed me. Sounds like a fucking win-win to me. You get what I'm saying? When you think of it like that, it sounds like a fucking win-win to me. I know people that are out there homeless that do crime on fucking purpose during the winter to spend them 6 months behind them bars. Getting fed, getting their teeth fixed, getting all their medical shit done, Come on, man. Yo, this shit is deep, man. It's deep. When you broke, it's deep, man. I'm passionate about this because my mother hates the fact that I'm always in the ghetto. But I can understand the struggle of motherfuckers from the bottom, bro. Because when you at the bottom, you really have nothing to do but fight, bro. You have nothing else. You have nothing, man. Know what I'm saying? You going to school with sneakers too big because somebody gave them to you. Gave them to your mother. You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro, when you in bad, bro, it's bad, bro. It's bad, bro. It's bad, bro. When you in bad, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about from American standards, it's bad. And when I say America, I'm talking about Long Island. Suffolk County, nigga. I know niggas right here on the richest, Suffolk County. They ain't got no front door, man. Niggas is using a screen door as a door. They put plywood up there over the screen door because this, bro, it get bad down here, man. It get bad. You know what I'm saying? And when it get bad, bro, dudes feel like they got to do what they got to do. Then you got some dudes that feel like they're obligated to take care of their family. You know what I'm saying? You know what it's like for a 13-year-old to feel like he got to be the man of the house? He 13. But he feel like, yo, I got to go out here and do these runs for this dude so I can get this $200, and then I bring it back to mom. Mom going to take that $200. I mean, his mother know what the fuck he doing. She mad as fuck he doing it. But she can't help the fact that that $200 going to come in handy. You heard? You see, we don't get the luxury at the bottom to decide whether or not we want to spend dirty money. At that point, money is fucking money, man. And that shit is a tool. I'm not keeping the motherfucking money and rubbing it on my chest, bitch. Soon as you give it to me, I'm going to get me something to eat. I'm going to pay that motherfucking light bill. I'm going to hit this motherfucking landlord off and tell him to stay off my back for another month. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. This shit get deep, bro.
Violent and property crime. A 2021 study published in the NLM found that more unequal societies tend to have higher crime, as well as lower social trust. Interestingly, the study also found that the more equal the distribution of resources, the higher the trust equilibrium, and that increasing punishment severity is not effective at this goal. And that particular piece of information relates to our pal Pigpen here, where he has routinely argued for more severe punishment. Looks like the science disagrees with him. Surprise, surprise.
You know, when you stomp on somebody, it's gangster. It's gangster.
Similar findings have appeared in studies examining crime in Mexico, Indonesia, Canada, and across the European Union, like this one here, where it's shown that people who are at risk of poverty report experiencing higher crime in their local area. So you see, this pattern is global and not unique to any ethnic group. Poor communities in parts of Eastern Europe and impoverished regions in Asia all experienced elevated crime rates compared to the wealthier populations around them. The same socioeconomic mechanisms observed in poor Black American neighborhoods are observed worldwide amongst people of entirely different ethnicities and cultures. Even the white supremacist favorite non-white country, Japan, experiences higher crime rates when poverty and unemployment rates rise, as shown in this study. Moving slightly west, South Korea is experiencing what they call a silver crime wave, where the rise of poverty and its aging population has seen a commensurate rise in crime. All of this does not mean poverty mechanically causes every individual to commit crime, nor does every poor community become highly violent. But the broader statistical relationship between resource deprivation and crime appears repeatedly across continents and populations. This is why many scholars argue that racial disparities in crime are better understood through the lens of concentrated poverty, inequality, historical segregation, and access to opportunity, rather than race itself. The reason black people are associated with crime in the United States is because black Americans have historically faced disproportionate levels of concentrated poverty, segregation, underinvestment, and systemic exclusion from economic opportunity, conditions that criminologists and sociologists have repeatedly linked to higher crime rates across every population on Earth, regardless of ethnicity. Once black American slaves were freed, they immediately faced discrimination, a lack of economic opportunities, exclusion from wealth-building institutions, segregated housing, unequal education, targeted policing, and widespread racial violence. Each of those things on their own contribute to poverty, which I have just proven correlates with crime. Black people were subjected to all of them at the same time. The United States created a permanent underclass in the form of black Americans by freeing formerly enslaved people without providing meaningful economic restitution, equal protection under the law, or fair access.
Oh yeah, we didn't get no acres and no meal. They ain't give a shit. They ain't give a shit. They ain't give us no education. They ain't give us no job. They ain't give us shit. You know what they told them when they first said they was going to do this shit? They told them niggas, well, you can stay here in your home. Huh? How the fuck they going to do that, bro? That just blew my mind. I just said that. That just blew my fucking mind. You can stay in your home. These crackers were called the slave quarters, the black. That's your home. You can stay in your home and stay right here on the big land. But you gotta keep working. Some of them see it as a good trade-off. And in retrospect, it fucking was. Now I'm working for something. I'm working for my home. This is mine. But it wasn't like the business deal. It wasn't like they did it in a way that it would be yours, because it really wasn't yours. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, if anybody into boxing, it's kind of it's kind of like the Don King story, bro. Like, I'm gonna make sure you got the big house, you can have it. I'm gonna make sure you got the car, all that, you can have it. But ain't none of this shit in your name. So at the end of the day, you ain't got shit. You see what I'm saying? You can stay on the slave quarters because you know that's y'all home, but you gotta keep working for the home. And now you're working for the home, still getting the scraps that they don't want to eat, and you still surviving off bullshit because it's like, if I don't do this, all y'all asses is in the street. Then what? Meanwhile, you're the one that built this house. You just built it on the wrong land. It's not your land. You think the slave owners built us cribs, bro? Are you stupid? They gave us timber that they didn't use on their own fucking cribs. Everything we got was what they did not want. Do your homework.
Housing, education, and employment, while simultaneously enforcing systems that kept many black communities segregated, impoverished, and politically marginalized. So, pop quiz, ass on mold. What do you do when you don't have access to decent education, can't get a job, live in a slum, and can barely feed yourself? Statistically, you turn to crime. It's not a black thing, it's a human thing. So this is what Joe was trying to communicate, that black Americans face conditions that overwhelmingly correlate with higher crime rates, and that this is due to systemic racism. All those factors I just named were racist, and all of them were systemic. Redlining, or the process of systematically denying minority communities access to mortgages, loans, and investment based on their race.
We went through all of this.
Trap many.
And I just want y'all to know, and I don't care if they monetize it or they throw my channel down. None of you Jews went through this. None of you Jews, when you got free, went through this. None of you. This is the shit we went through. Yeah, okay, you can apply for the loan because it's the law, but you ain't getting that shit. You can apply for a mortgage. We ain't getting that shit. They still doing it to this day. So you want to buy a house? You got a visa? You ain't got no credit card. Oh, well, you can't buy a house. The fuck you talking about? I got the cash right here. Well, you need credit. They do it anyway, bro.
Black Americans in impoverished and underdeveloped neighborhoods for generations. That is obviously racist. That is systemic because it was a government-sponsored organization that invented this, and it was legal. Systemic racism. The main way a family in the United States builds wealth is through real estate. If you own a home, you generally pass that home down to your children, and since your children are now not required to use the majority of their income for housing, they are able to save, invest, pursue education, start businesses, and accumulate wealth more easily themselves, creating a compounding cycle of generational wealth. If you routinely deny black families the opportunity to own valuable real estate, you rob them of the opportunity to create generational wealth.
What is the racial wealth gap and why is everyone talking about it? The racial wealth gap is a measure of wealth inequality between racial groups in the U.S. Here's a prime example. Black families make up 14% of the population but own only 5% of American wealth, while white households make up 65% of the population but control 80% of the wealth. The gap traces back to the 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, which led to freedom for almost 4 million Black Americans. By 1860, their labor accounted for 60% of U.S. exports, $200 million a year, where Black Americans received nothing. No land, no money. Without any money or land, how could newly free Black Americans create wealth? The second barrier to building wealth, housing discrimination.
This is the real
One
thing.
significant driver to the racial wealth gap, as I mentioned before, is going to be home ownership. Home ownership is a significant driver of wealth, whereby every year of home ownership, homeowners gain about $14,000 in equity. Conversely, if you don't have access to home ownership, you don't have access to that type of equity and that cushion that you could get from having money saved from home ownership.
Housing discrimination allows banks to deny home loans to the Black community through a practice called redlining. Redlining is the government-sponsored practice of denying mortgages and other financial services to segregated Black and brown neighborhoods. It's called redlining because bankers literally drew red lines around undesirable communities. One Black household in a middle-class community was enough to make the federal government deny mortgages in that area. As a result, Black families turned to predatory lenders or were shut out from home ownership completely.
We just keep having to fight battles, but a lot of the things that have happened to Black folks in America were orchestrated and they were legal. That was systemic. I mean, it wasn't like it just happened that way. It was designed to be that way.
And like all forms of systemic racism, the downstream effects are seen in the modern day. And by the way, this is the United States Treasury website literally admitting one of the factors for this gap is due to the United States government. They are admitting their policies stifled Black home ownership. Systemic racism.
Goof.
Now, back to Zach's dumbass tweet. The first fucking line from this genius is that Black people benefit from systemic racism. Now, I know what Zach is trying to say here, that through policies like affirmative action, Black people benefit, and that because affirmative action is a governmental policy, that is systemic. The problem with this line of logic is that it's not racism. Yes, affirmative action effectively produced outcomes where an equally qualified white man could be disqualified for an equally qualified Black man. But this process also held that an equally qualified white woman would be chosen over an equally qualified Black man. In fact, white women were the largest beneficiaries of DEI and affirmative action policies. So by definition and by practice, affirmative action wasn't a systemically racist policy because all ethnic groups benefited from that policy and it disproportionately affected gender. So it is a lie that affirmative action was racist. The best you could argue here is that it is somewhat discriminatory towards white men, and white men specifically, because it literally benefits every single other group. And even then, that would be a lie, as affirmative action includes mandates for hiring veterans and people with disabilities. Both groups, white men make up a significant portion. So no, affirmative action and DEI are not a form of systemic racism. And no, black people and other minority groups do not enjoy preferential treatment at the expense of white and Asian people. Like, are you unaware that Asians are a minority group in the United States too? Why would you group those two together, Zach? Are you referring to the ridiculous Supreme Court ruling Students versus Harvard? Setting that aside for the moment, what other areas are black and Hispanic people benefiting at the expense of Asian people besides the overstated college admissions issue? Give examples. I'm sure everyone would like to hear them, Zach. And please, be very specific. Back to the Supreme Court issue, we currently have a compromised Supreme Court that is doing its damnedest to implement overwhelmingly conservative policies and rulings, and these rulings almost always come at the expense of black Americans. Its ruling in Students v. Harvard was a joke because the prosecution's claim hinged on the idea that American institutions like Harvard already operate on a level playing field, which we know they don't. At Harvard specifically, there are legacy admissions, donor preferences, networking advantages, and wealth inheritance that disproportionately benefit white students. Somehow, the group suing Harvard ignored all of that to focus on the 18% of the class of 2027 who were black. 18%. This number decreased to 14% after the Supreme Court's ruling. The Asian cohort went from 37% to 37%. Literally zero change to them, but a 4% drop in black student admission. Which, if you haven't been paying attention, is the fucking goal. The group that sued Harvard, Students for Fair Admissions, headed by this guy, Edward Blum, who has dedicated his entire career to dismantling progress in racial equality and specifically black representation. Bush versus Vera, a Supreme Court case against redistricting in Texas that sought to increase racial minority representation in Congress. Fisher versus University of Texas, another Supreme Court case regarding affirmative action in a college. Shelby County versus Holder, a Supreme Court case concerning pre-clearance, or the right of the federal government to approve of voting law changes of certain states that had a history of racial discrimination, i.e. the South. This one was important because it resulted in a landmark decision that allowed historically racially discriminant states in the South to fuck with voter ID laws, removing the most effective protection against racial voter suppression. Doesn't that sound familiar? The legacy of Edward Blum. That's this guy's entire goal, to roll back civil rights protections, especially those that affect or benefit black people. Just like I pointed out in my last video, it's a strange coincidence everything Zach promotes is backed by some white guy whose life goal is to shit on black people. So this is why Zach said white and Asian Americans in his tweet. Because like most people that promote white supremacist rhetoric, he's weaponizing Asian people against black and Hispanic people in the United States. This is a very common tactic known as the model.
You see, now, I have to say something about that because they just tried to do that again with the Spanish people. I did not know the black people were not gonna come out for. You know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. Us American black people just don't give a fuck. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth, bro. We just don't give a fuck, bro. We don't care no more about standing outside for you motherfuckers that don't want to stand outside for us. We don't care no more about motherfucking running over there talking about we gonna protest because, bitch, we already see the painting on the wall, man. We see the writing on the wall, boy. They gonna shoot us. And you want to know something? I'm a firm believer in that's y'all motherfucking goal. Because y'all know goddamn well if we bring our black asses out there with y'all, they gonna bum us down. I believe that's y'all goal. Yo, when anything good happens, we don't never get no credit for that shit. Anything fucked up, y'all gonna blame it all on a case in point. Presidents. the narrative that's going to be written, and I promise, this is just something I see happening. The narrative that's going to be written is not going to be written that Barack Obama was a good president. It's going to be Barack Obama was the worst thing for the United States of America. Everything bad happened underneath Barack Obama, which is a total fucking lie. Right? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we all know that they all underneath the same cabal anyway, so we really don't give a fuck what they say about each other. We don't care. That's like on my label, there's two artists on the same label, and these motherfuckers is beefing. Do you think the nigga that owned the label give a fuck? He don't care. All he care about is, look, you producing music, you producing music. This is what we gonna do. When you put them in the studio, make sure them niggas ain't at the studio. When them niggas in the studio, make sure them niggas ain't at. That's all that's gonna happen, bro. But it's the dumbest thing in the world, son. It's like beefing inside and having all y'all out there vote on who's the better artist when meanwhile we both doing the same thing. It's hypothetically saying that I own McDonald's and Burger King, but I battle myself. It doesn't make any sense. So they're all accountable. The whole government sucks. They're all accountable. You know what I'm saying? If we want to shoot, they all accountable. But the thing is, we don't battle against other impoverished people. We don't fucking have nothing against you at all. We had nothing against the Arabs during 9/11. We had nothing against you, bruh. We have nothing against the Chinese right now. We have nothing against the Spanish. But I shot you, nigga. It's enough of you motherfuckers, man. Y'all go out there and handle that, man. It's enough of y'all here. Go handle that. Know what I'm saying? Because when they shot Eric, nigga, we had to go out there. Where was y'all? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Yo, we black people in America know what the fuck the rule is. It's happened every time. Every time we stick our neck out there, they chop our head off. Every time we stick our neck out there, they chop our head off. So how many times do you think we're going to keep sticking our neck out there? Before we fucking realize we're going to start telling motherfuckers, yo, chill, don't do that. Don't do that. We don't need Martin Luther King, you heard? We don't need that. We don't need that. Let them niggas do what they do, man. We don't need that. We don't need Malcolm X. We don't need that. Because all you going to do is stand up over there and be the voice and be the one to get shot. When you give them a target to hit, a specific target, one man, they're going to hit the target. But if we collectively come together, like say, I don't know, make our own political fucking group that we can vote for, our own party, maybe if we do that, they can't hit us. They can't knock us off. Because we're to a collective. We're a group. You understand what I'm saying? But when you sit there, yo, who do you follow? I follow Malcolm X. All right, well, we know to shoot Malcolm X because he got enough followers. You see what I'm saying? Anything positive that we try to do, try to come for, they're going to come for your head, man. That's why this internet thing is great for us. You can sit behind a computer, let AI do all the talking, and don't get shot.
Minority myth. Zach nor Edward Blum give a flying fuck about Asian people. Asians are just a pawn in their game. A game that...
Oh, and I want to let y'all know something else, too, so y'all understand business. People like this guy right here, do you think that he's one of those people that's like, I wish all the black people and Spanish people and Chinese people die? Do you think he really thinks like that? Let me explain something to you. He doesn't. He thinks of the world in have and have nots. He can care less about your skin color. He wants to know, are you old money? No, you're new money. Get the fuck out of here. You see what I'm saying? That's the way they are moving. All right? So first of all, let me tell you how the trillionaires work. The trillionaires live off the millionaires. The millionaires live off the brokenaires. The brokenaires support DSS. I hope that didn't go over everybody's head. I hope I hit y'all. Because I'm definitely not saying that again.
When that game is won, will be turned against Asians. And unfortunately, some of them are too fucking stupid to recognize that.
But I want to be free.
Ooh, I can't let that end. But yeah, well, to the end of this guy right here, I love you, bro. I love you, bro, because I just went off on this guy, man, because he went at our kids, man. I just went off on him, man, because I just don't understand, like, if you're 18, you're a child, bro. You're not a grown-up. You're a child, bro. No matter how much you want to, I'm a grown-up. You're not a grown-up, bro. You ain't got no bills, nigga. Like, that's, yo, and you know what? That's what my granny used to say, bro. You not grown until you got some bills, nigga. Huh? You got a car note? You got a rent? You got some mortgage you paying on? You ain't got no bills, nigga. You ain't grown. You ain't got no ownership of nothing. You ain't even paying your people bills. So how the hell you gonna talk about you grown? You see what I'm saying? So, bro, I'm glad I found this guy, because now I'm getting ready to hit him up, and we are going to go back and forth we are going to get ready to build. I'm building a game. I'm building a game to go against these motherfucking racist motherfuckers on the internet. Fuck it. We not going at them on some violent shit. No, dude. No. None of that. But we are going to be standing on business with our words, bruh. We gonna come back. We gonna call out the racism that it is, and I put that on 3. So if you made it this far, bro, I don't know why you didn't do it yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to do it. Go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe, and join the G Nation and become a G like me, you. And if you out there and you watching this right now, and you are a G, even if you're not. Even if you have ears and you just hear my voice right now, I want you all to do this. I need you to do this. I don't need you to try to do it. I need you to do it. I need you to stay sucker free in this world of lollipops we live in like that. Stay free of the suckers. Alright? Dodge them. Alright? Because the suckers will get you. And I'm out.